Welcome to Friday. It's September 30th, 2022. This Day Weather Podcast brought to you by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatedaily.com or on their Facebook page. Well, folks, as we head into the weekend, the really nice summer-like weather we've had for most of the week is transitioning into a cooler, more unsettled stretch of weather here in the coming days. What we have is a low pressure that's coming in out of the Pacific Northwest that's just going to meander across Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, and kind of just stretch out and slowly make its way through over the next 4 days. So a cooler, moist air mass will be in place. There's also a subtropical connection, and we'll show you that here in a minute. There's actually moisture getting drawn into this low out of the Four Corners region, out of Mexico, and that's one reason why this will be a good rain producer for many of you. Some of the rain could be quite good, heaviest in Montana, parts of northern Wyoming. You're going to do well with this, a nice early October rain event. Yes, as we mentioned yesterday, there is going to be snow up high, especially the mountains of northern and northwestern Wyoming, especially the Yellowstone Plateau. The mountains around southwest Montana, northwestern Wyoming have the best chance, but most of it stays up high. Hunters, nonetheless, be ready for that. Nice early October weather by early to mid next week. Nice meaning average temperatures, partly cloudy skies, and not too much going on. We've got a slew of photos to show you, just great photos coming in from folks across the Intermountain West, sending in just great shots of the aspen colors. There's great scenic shots, a double rainbow in Riverton yesterday. Boy, that was a great shot there. And then just beautiful shots from the Red Grade Road up by Sheridan of those aspens turning up in the Bighorns. If you can get out this weekend, you'll see some great fall colors. Even though the weather won't be great, there'll still be some opportunities. A nice shot here out of Bonners Ferry, Idaho. Another great sunset there, as well as in Lander, and then some great color up here this past weekend up into the Snowy Range Mountains. Don't forget to send your weather photos to podcast@dayweather.com. Here's the low. Boy, you can really see it, can't you? Right over central Idaho. The spinning area of clouds right here is that upper level low, and it's cut off from the main jet stream up here, so it's just going to wander. It's just going to meander. Now, here is that fetch of moisture I mentioned earlier coming up from the subtropics. So there's a little bit of, well, we could call it monsoonal moisture, kind of what's left of it, getting pulled in by that system. And you see the enhanced cloudiness here. This means colder cloud tops, higher growing clouds, which make those rain showers and thunderstorms. And what will happen is, as this low just spins around, these enhanced bands of clouds will form along with precipitation. Ian now headed towards Charleston, South Carolina is a Category 1. There'll be a lot of rain there. We'll show you that here in a minute. And as you can see, that low is just going to be overhead. And here's that connection. See that connection of subtropical moisture feeding right into that low. So this will produce a lot of instability, a lot of clouds, and the occasional showers and thunderstorms. By Sunday afternoon and evening, there it is. It goes from central Idaho to about Sheridan in 2 days. So it's in no hurry. And this is what the moisture looks like. And you can see that fetch, that arc coming on in. And then you can see the heavier rain threat in parts of Montana, central and northwestern areas of Wyoming. There's a lot of areas that will get well over an inch. In fact, Sweetwater County around Rock Springs and Green River yesterday and last night, over half of an inch of rain fell. So that's really, really good to see. As we head to the tail end of the wildfire season, having rains and cooler weather like this is just really, really good to see. And there's the snow forecast. You can see Wyoming's northwest mountains, the Beartoops, the Absarokas, the Wind Rivers, the highest Bighorns and the Uintas, and then down in the central mountains of Colorado, a bit of snow. Going into next week, this is next Thursday. Next Thursday, this is where we have that nice October weather. High pressure builds in. It's not a terribly warm high pressure, but it'll bring us mild conditions. But notice the jet stream is right here now. And what we're going to see is this low by late next week heading to the Great Lakes. This is probably going to bring some type of frontal system. We call this a backdoor front, sneaking in from the Dakotas, pushing up against the divide. So by late next week and towards next weekend, there may be a bit of a cool down. But as we mentioned yesterday, the really, really cold air that would send us into a hard freeze or send us into the first snow of the season on the plains, just don't see that yet. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday.